Welcome back, everybody, to the Deep Dive. You know we love going deep on all the best practices to help you level up your business, and today we're focusing on car dealerships, specifically their websites. And to guide us, we've got a fantastic article from Site Design and Now W.
Yeah, they're the Australian web design experts.
And they really know their stuff. This article is called Enhancing Car Dealership Websites, Top Features for Boosting Sales. It's like a roadmap to turn your site into a 24/7 sales machine. Forget just being a static brochure online. This is about making your website really work for you.
Absolutely. And, it all starts with strong vehicle listings.
Oh, for sure. We all know they're important.
Right. But they break it down even further. It's not just about listing the features and specs. It's about really grabbing the buyer with compelling description.
Right. Make them feel something.
Exactly. High-quality images, the kind that make you want to reach out and touch the car.
Yeah, like you're right there in the showroom with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then even taking it a step further, 360-degree views or even video tours.
Oh, I love those.
I'm actually thinking about a case study we did with a dealership in Sydney. They implemented those interactive tours and saw a 20% increase in leads just from that.
Wow, 20%. That's amazing. I can see why, though.
Yeah.
It's like bringing the showroom to the buyer, no matter where they are. But you know what else really stood out to me in the article was their emphasis on intuitive search filters.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if your website has a ton of vehicles, it can be so overwhelming.
Right.
Even for the most diehard car enthusiasts.
Absolutely. It's like walking into a dealership and the cars are just scattered everywhere with no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, total chaos.
Total chaos. Site Design and NW really emphasizes that your filters need to be super robust.
Okay, so what does that look like?
Well, make, model, year, price range, of course.
Yeah, those are the basics.
But then you can even drill down to features like sunroof, heated seats, you name it. It's about giving people the information they need to make a decision.
And not having to scroll endlessly through pages of cars.
Exactly, and meeting that learner need for efficiency.
That's a good point. It just makes the whole online shopping experience so much better. But they don't stop there, do they? They go on to talk about financing calculators. I actually think this is something a lot of dealership websites miss out on. What do you think? Why aren't more dealerships using these?
You're right. It is a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Think about it, though. You're giving people the power to explore financing options right up front. They can play with the loan terms, the down payments, interest rates.
All at their own pace.
Exactly. It builds trust because it's transparent.
Right, no surprises.
Yeah, and it takes away that fear factor of the unknown.
Absolutely.
I've actually seen some dealerships integrate these calculators right alongside the vehicle listings. And that makes such a difference in how people engage with the site.
It makes sense. And speaking of making things easier, I love that they talk about seamless online inquiry forms.
Yes.
It shouldn't be a struggle to connect with the dealership. So whether it's a question about a specific vehicle, booking a test drive, or even just starting a conversation about a trade-in, it needs to be super easy.
Yeah, they actually highlight how important it is to remove any geographical barriers. It's not just about foot traffic anymore.
That's a good point.
Imagine someone's browsing your inventory online at midnight. A couple clicks, and they've scheduled a test drive for the next day.
It's so smart. And it brings us to another crucial element, customer testimonials. Social proof is everything these days, especially for a big purchase like a car.
Yeah, you can't just have a couple generic quotes on the homepage, though.
Right, I'm not going to cut it.
Site Design NOW actually suggests using different types of testimonials.
Like what? Give me an example.
So you could have customer stories, real people sharing their experiences.
You're always compelling.
And then you can have praise for specific services that you offer.
Okay, so someone might rave about the service department or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You can even just have star rating summaries. The key is to make it authentic.
Right. Build trust.
And, they even connect this back to the importance of business integrity in Australia.
I like that it adds another layer of trust. Man, I'm getting so many ideas from my own website revamp. And we've only just scratched the surface. I can't wait to hear what they have to say about fresh content and responsive design.
Let's dive into those next. It's amazing how just a few small details on your website can make or break the customer experience.
It's true. And I really appreciate that this article from Site Design and NOW really gets that. They understand the unique needs of car dealerships. This isn't just generic web design advice.
No.
This is stuff that actually drives sales.
Absolutely. And I think a key takeaway is that it's not enough to just have a pretty website. It's got to be informative, it's got to be engaging, and ultimately it's got to persuade people to do business with you.
So let's get into some of the specifics. We touched on captivating vehicle listings. How do we go beyond the basics here?
All right, well, let's put ourselves in the shoes of the car buyer. They obviously want the year, the make, the model, mileage, all that good stuff.
The essentials.
But they also want those little details. Engine size, fuel efficiency, safety features.
Right, the stuff that sets it apart.
Yeah, exactly.
And I bet high-quality photos are crucial, too, inside and out.
Oh, absolutely. You got to immerse the visitor in the experience.
eBay.
Even if they're miles away from your dealership. And remember, we talked about those 360-degree views and video tours.
Yeah.
Those can be game changers, but don't just throw them in randomly. I remember working with a dealership. They did these short targeted videos highlighting key features, like the panoramic sunroof or the advanced safety systems.
Nice.
And they saw a huge jump in inquiries specifically mentioning those features.
So smart using that targeted content. Now let's talk about intuitive search filters.
Okay.
This is all about anticipating how customers actually search.
Exactly.
Are they coming in with a specific make or model in mind? Maybe they have a budget.
Right, a price range.
Or maybe they're looking for something fuel efficient.
Yeah, or prioritizing safety features.
So those filters have to be really comprehensive.
Yeah.
But wouldn't too many filters just overwhelm people?
That's a great question. It's all about balance. You want to start with those most common search criteria.
Right.
And then give people the option to really fine-tune it.
So you can use drop-down menus, checkboxes, sliders?
Yeah, exactly. As long as it feels intuitive.
Effortless.
Exactly.
Now, financing calculators. I think this is an area where dealerships can really shine.
You're right. And it's about going beyond just a basic calculator.
Yeah.
Think about all the different financing options you offer. The range of loan terms, down payment amounts.
It should reflect how complex these things can get.
Yeah. And it needs to be user-friendly.
Transparency is key here too, right? Being upfront about interest rates and fees.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It all comes back to trust.
Yeah, the more information you give upfront, the more confident people are going to feel moving forward.
Okay, so let's dive into seamless online inquiry forms.
Okay.
What are the essentials here? Well, first off, the form needs to be easy to find and use.
Obvious but important.
Don't make people hunt for it.
Yeah.
Keep the form concise and relevant.
And it goes without saying mobile friendly. Everyone's on their phones these days.
Absolutely. You might even want to consider like a floating inquiry button that stays visible as people scroll, so they can easily connect with you whenever they're ready.
Now, what about the fields on the form itself? What information should we be asking for?
Well, the basics, obviously, name, email address, phone number.
Right.
But you could also ask about their preferred contact method.
Okay, so are they an email person, a phone call person?
Exactly. Or you could ask about what kind of vehicle they're interested in.
Right, or their time frame for buying.
Exactly. You're qualifying the lead.
So we can give them a personalized response.
Precisely. And don't forget a clear call to action.
Oh, yeah, good point.
What do you want them to do next?
Schedule this test drive or give you a call.
Make it super clear.
Okay, let's move on to customer testimonials. What are your tips for making these really hit home?
Above all, they have to be authentic.
Okay, so no fake reviews.
Yeah, people can spot a fake a mile away.
It's all about real stories, right?
Yeah.
Real people sharing real experiences.
Exactly. And whenever possible, use testimonials that are specific to your dealership.
So like if someone raves about your no-pressure sales approach or something.
Right, or how great the service department is.
Yeah, highlight those details. And it's good to have a variety, too. First-time buyers, loyal customers, new car experiences, used car experiences.
It really paints that picture of trust and reliability.
Okay, so we briefly touched on fresh and relevant content. Why is this so important for a dealership's website?
Well, for starters, it tells both visitors and search engines that your website is active.
So it helps with your SEO.
Exactly. And fresh content gives people a reason to keep coming back.
Keep it interesting.
Right. Update your inventory regularly, add some blog posts about new models.
Maybe some car care tips.
Yeah, exactly. Or announce any special promotions you've got going on.
It's about staying top of mind.
Absolutely.
Now, responsive design, this is crucial.
Yeah, it's non-negotiable these days.
I think most people understand that their website needs to be mobile friendly. But it's more than just shrinking down the text and images.
Right. You have to think about the layout and navigation, too.
Yeah, it has to be easy to use on a touchscreen.
And we have to remember how people use their phones.
Mm-hmm.
Often they're on the go, maybe in a noisy environment, maybe even using one hand.
Right, so a responsive design has to adapt to all those scenarios.
Think about clear, concise content, easy-to-tap buttons.
And then we have local focus. This is especially important for dealerships because people are usually looking to buy locally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Make sure your name, address, and phone number are easy to find on your website.
And make sure it's consistent across all your online platforms.
Yes, consistency is key.
And use local keywords in your website content, too.
So if you're in Miami, Florida, you want to think about how people might search for dealerships.
Car dealerships in Miami. Used cars, Miami.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
integrate those phrases naturally.
And don't forget about local citations. Getting listed in those relevant directories and even sponsoring local events.
It's all about establishing yourself in the community.
Wow, we've covered so much today. It's amazing how many pieces go into creating a successful car dealership website.
We have, and it's an ongoing process.
This isn't a set it and forget it kind of thing.
No, you've got to stay ahead of the curve.
Constantly refining and improving.
In the next part, we'll really get into the user experience.
We'll talk about how all these elements come together to create a website that actually converts visitors into customers. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into car dealership websites. We've covered a lot, like captivating vehicle listings, local SEO, you name it. But now we really want to zoom in on the user experience.
Yeah, it's like we've built this incredible engine with all the features we talked about. Now we have to make sure it runs smoothly and delivers a great experience for the user.
That's a great analogy. So where do we start when it comes to creating a great user experience on a car dealership website?
Well, it all starts with intuitive navigation. Imagine walking into a dealership that's just a maze of cars. You'd be lost and frustrated.
Yeah, no one wants that.
Your website needs to be the exact opposite. Think clear menus, logical organization, and a search bar that's easy to find. Visitors should be able to find what they're looking for without any hassle.
It's like those dealerships with the sleek, modern designs. Everything's clearly labeled, easy to find, just feels welcoming.
Exactly. Visual appeal is huge when it comes to user experience.
Makes sense.
A clean, uncluttered design, high-quality images that reflect your brand, and consistent branding across the entire site. It all adds up to a great first impression.
And of course, we can't forget mobile optimization.
Oh, absolutely crucial in this day and age.
People are browsing on their phones more than ever.
A responsive design is essential, but we can go even further. Imagine a dealership that anticipates your needs before you even step foot inside.
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
That's the kind of thinking we need to bring to mobile optimization. Think click-to-call buttons, prominent location maps, maybe even integration with navigation apps so people can get directions right from the site.
That's a whole other level. So we've got navigation, we've got design, we've got mobile optimization. What else contributes to a smooth user experience?
Speed. Those lightning-fast load times.
Oh, for sure. No one wants to wait around for a website to load.
Exactly. I read a study recently that found that even a 1-second delay in page load time can cause a 7% drop in conversions.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
So how do we make sure our websites are loading quickly?
Well, there's some technical things you can do, like optimizing your images, using a content delivery network, choosing a good web host. But it's also about being smart with the content itself. Don't overload the site with heavy videos or tons of high-resolution images. It's a balancing act between looking good and performing well.
Like a well-tuned sports car. You want power and performance, but you also need efficiency.
Exactly. And then there's the emotional aspect. We want visitors to feel something when they interact with the website. Excitement, intrigue, trust,
So how do we tap into that emotional side?
Storytelling. Don't just list features and specs. Weave those details into engaging narratives. Use high-quality photos and videos to showcase those vehicles. But don't forget the human element. Share customer testimonials that really evoke emotion, highlight those positive experiences.
That creating a virtual test drive that engages all the senses.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to let your brand's personality shine through in the website copy. Be conversational, relatable, maybe even a little bit funny.
It's about connecting with people, building that trust.
Exactly.
Man, this has been such an insightful journey. I feel like I've learned so much about creating a car dealership website that really stands out.
Me too. And remember, it's not just about checking boxes. It's about creating an experience that really resonates with your audience and guides them through the entire buying process.
So as you start working on your own website revamp, remember to always put the customer first.
Yeah. What are their needs? What are their pain points? What are they looking for in a dealership?
Don't be afraid to try new things and track your results.
See what works best for your brand and your target market.
That's a great point. This has been such an eye-opening deep dive into car dealership website best practices. Thanks so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, happy driving.